Hi guys, and welcome to a very special edition of the Love is Stupid podcast. I'm your host, Ray Solomon, here with my handsome husband and co-host, Jake Green.
Hey there, daters and haters.
And our resident Nashville bachelor, Dustin Summers.
Summer break.
Woo-hoo!
Ready to go.
It's like in elementary school again. School's out.
I'm ready to throw the folders in the trash. Let's get the hell out of here.
I'm so excited. You guys, we made it through our whole first season of the Love is Stupid podcast.
There's some trying times.
Yes, sir. We'll recount some of those and
Yeah.
look forward to our next season. Yeah, it's been a great time.
It's been a really good time. We figured that we would celebrate our summer break with fruity, slushy
Yep.
drinks.
Frozen
Cheers,
drinks,
everybody.
delicious.
Mhm.
And beachwear.
Oh,
It's really good.
Ray's trying to get me drunk.
Everybody wondering what we're drinking, it is tequila with a little bit of mezcal tequila and blended with ice and then watermelon lemonade Mio, like little flavors. They're really good.
We'll post the recipe on Instagram, so please follow us there.
Yeah.
All right, so what's everybody's summer plans?
I'm just happy that we're going to have a summer. It's been 90
Seriously.
It's been 90 degrees in Nashville for the last week or two. Things are starting to reopen, and so yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh God, I'm so excited. We're having dinner with some friends tonight and they wanted to come over to the house for dinner, and I'm trying to convince them to go out because it feels so nice to be able to go somewhere to have dinner.
And Nashville's finally at phase 3 of the quarantine.
Starting
so
Monday.
that's great.
Starting Monday. So we're almost there. But yeah, it's going to be a big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Well, I've got a ton of lumber in the backyard that I'm going to need to burn, so if you want to come over, Dustin, and help me with fire.
That's your summer plan.
Yeah.
So Jake has been, we've got a bunch of trees in our backyard, and Jake has been chopping down some of the limbs that are kind of hanging over the house and the cars. And there was one that was extremely close to the house that he was trying to cut down by himself. And I called Dustin and was like, you need to get over here because I think Jake might kill himself. This branch is gonna like fall on the house or something. And he's like, I'm at the gym. I'll be there in 20 minutes. You were here in 10.
That's right. I knew it was a desperate situation.
First of all, this beard just exudes lumberjack, so I was fine.
Uh-huh.
I appreciated the help.
Were you?
I don't know. Could have found out.
What sort of summer plans you got lined up there? Ray?
Well, before I get into my summer plans, can I do a follow-up to last week's?
Follow up.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm like jumping off here, but last week, if anybody listened to the podcast, the first like 10 minutes of the podcast was this story about the fact that we had gone to try and float the river and ended up getting lost, and it was this whole debacle. We were on the river for like 8 hours. The sun's going down. We're thinking that we're going to be like trudging through the woods with all of our gear. We have no idea where we're at. Come across this campsite, and
Right.
in the middle of nowhere. And this really nice couple gave us a ride back to our car. Well, I get a text message from my brother 2 days ago with a screenshot of a Facebook message that this person had thought that we had lost one of our phones, was trying to get it back to me, had tagged just in a Nashville Facebook group that my name was Ray and then I moved from Seattle to Nashville, and people tagged me and he was able to find me, which is like some grade A investigative like cyber stalking skills.
Seriously.
So I think that we need to add cyber stalking to a topic that we do on our next
We
season.
could open
when
that
we
for
come back.
season 2.
I'll write that
Would
down.
you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This guy had it down. I was
Seriously,
really
I
impressed.
have no idea how he found you.
I don't know. It was really impressive.
Well, so the phone we just found floating at the bottom of the river. It was a brand new Google phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't brand new anymore.
No, it was at the bottom
It's
of the
got a
river.
little water damage.
It's been at the bottom of the Harpeth River, which we know is 2 feet deep.
I don't think Verizon's going to take that one back.
I don't even know how you would find that, but okay, thank you for letting me go off on my tangent. So my summer plans, I don't know. I mean, I feel like everything's a little bit up in the air. Next month, I'm finally heading back out to LA to finish recording my project. I was in LA recording my project when quarantine hit and had to cut everything short.
By LA, she means lower Alabama. So,
Yeah.
so Dothan, Troy, we're
Yeah.
coming to your neighborhood.
Definitely not. And then, yeah, I don't know. We've got a couple trips planned like a little
Yeah.
later in the summer, but lake time.
Are you glossing over next week? It's our 1 year anniversary.
It
I had that
is.
written down. I was going to
It
mention that. I was
is.
going to mention that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Happy almost 1 year anniversary.
Thank you. Yeah, so we were supposed to be in Italy on a cruise through the Mediterranean.
Right
but
now.
that's like not a thing you want to be doing right now. So we are improvising, and we're just gonna stay at the JW here in Nashville, go to a nice dinner, and
It's our favorite hotel. in
get
Nashville.
massages and hang out. You know, it's not quite Italy, but I love Nashville, so I'm happy about it.
Yep.
Well, my summer plans are not nearly as exciting as a 1 year anniversary or an Italy or a JW Marriott weekend or anything else.
Go
like
on,
that.
Morpheus.
That's all right. It's fine. It's my sunglasses. It's summertime. It's summertime, Jake.
We do have a lot of lights in your face right now, to be fair.
Yeah, a lot of lights.
Your future's so bright, you gotta wear shades.
Exactly. Never mind.
Ah!
But no, we're gonna take a couple months off here. I think we're gonna Ray's gonna tell us a little bit more about when you can expect us to come back and some of that. But I've got a few plans throughout the summer. I've got a couple of writing projects. They haven't really talked about that.
Okay.
I like to write a lot. I've got a couple of things I've been working on. There's actually a book out already that I did a couple years ago, which you're familiar with. This.
Oh,
We haven't mentioned this on the podcast yet, but
yes!
I wrote an early chapter children's book a year or so ago called The Ring Tales of Goodnight Road and the Case of the Stolen Window Bango, which tells the story of Rocky and Wrigley Ringtail and their efforts to write a newspaper for their hometown forest. And so
You snuck that in.
I did.
He did.
Snuck that in
I
there.
didn't even see it.
And then a couple of other things that are out with fishing out the publishers right now. But there's a couple of other things that maybe we'll be able to talk about in September that are in the hopper as well. But
Okay.
Yeah.
then some little travel and who knows what else. We might have a few surprises coming.
Well, I think that like for our first season, we did pretty good, but you got a fairly easy of not having to go on a lot of dates because of quarantine.
Sorry.
Got off
'Cause you
easy. I don't
couldn't.
really know quotations. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like you couldn't. So
we covered plenty. We had plenty
We did.
of back material,
Some
source
debacles.
well, source material.
I'm excited for you to get out there and start dating again, so we have more to talk about.
I love the wire.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
So
It'll be fun.
Yep.
It'll be fun. And I see you got a haircut, which is nice.
I did get a haircut.
Yeah.
I have yet to cut my hair since February.
I didn't cut my hair either. It was Kristen down at Local Honey here in Nashville that cut my hair. So
Nice.
good for you.
Well
cutting
done,
your hair.
Kristen.
Shout out
My
Local-
hairstylist actually coming over for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
I
Cheers.
should just get out the clippers and be like, here you go.
Yeah. Help us. Thank you, Taylor.
Yeah, seriously.
We love you. So, what did you guys think of our first season?
What I think of our first season, I mean, the fact that we were coming out of the stupid Bachelor recap thing as our kickoff, that confused people for the first, 10 weeks that we were doing this, that we were a Bachelor podcast, which I
Right.
hated that. And I hated The Bachelor as well. But I mean,
This is the first time we're doing a video recording since The Bachelor.
is it? I knew I felt nervous and disgusted all at the same time. No, I mean the first season was pretty impressive and pretty fun. I mean, I think when we kind of came into this, I think I mentioned on this, like my 3 goals for this first season were to find somebody, which working on it. 2, not to embarrass my mom, probably screwed that up. Oops. And then number 3 was to kind of really lend some color to, like, you know, being single is not all about hookup stories and stupid frivolous dates and things like that. You know, we've really tried to cover some pretty pertinent, heavy topics mixed in with a little bit of fun, and you know, stories about me jumping out of windows during snowstorms and shit like that. And so we've covered a lot of stuff, and I'm proud of it. I think it's been fun, and looking forward to season 2.
Me too.
Do you think Return of the Mac was an embarrassment for your mom?
Hey, a bit.
A bit?
I don't think she loved it.
No?
Oh, I love that song now.
Every time I hear it, I think of you.
It's surprising how much you hear it because I never noticed until I heard this story, and then I was like, oh, you do hear this a lot. So
Well, I hear it a lot.
I just get these little like joyous moments randomly.
It's your ringtone, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. Oh,
I love
that's
it.
awesome.
Okay, so Dustin made us a little outline here, and
Mhm.
it looks like the next thing
Good.
on there is our bloopers.
Bloopers.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we had a few. We had a few good ones.
My favorite was my debacle and then you going, Leroy Jenkins.
Luckily, that's been lost to time. Like that was never aired. We lost the blooper outtake of that. But you guys familiar with the Leroy Jenkins YouTube clip where these guys were getting ready to play. What were they playing? Like
World
World of Warcraft or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a very famous YouTube video. They were planning all this stuff, and one guy just gets tired of the planning process and runs off into the fray and screams Leroy Jenkins at the top of his lungs. That's sort of the way Jake prepares for most of our podcasts. He never reads an outline. He never follows the script. And so Ray and I had told him repeatedly, stop doing that and just tune in to what we're doing.
And I had worked very hard on this one little section that I was the whole like segment that I had for our podcast. And what do?
He just blew right past it, and I just, it was funny. And we had to lose it because Ray had a spray of cuss words. It was just a lot of profanity, and we had to get rid of it. But
I love you, baby. It's okay.
That was very bad. That's adorable.
Oh no.
What else did we screw up? I didn't talk into the mic for the first 2 months.
Yeah, and then
2 months? I think it was the last episode you finally decided to talk.
So the last episode we're telling Dustin like, dude, you gotta like talk a little closer into the mic because he likes to sit pretty.
And
far
I was still
away.
pissed off about it.
And so he goes, "Are you kidding me?" And said it so loud, and we're like, "Yeah, that's it."
Yeah, you got it. Nice job.
Whatever. Season 2, man. The first season of Seinfeld sucked, and it went on to be pretty successful, so that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
I feel like we hit our apex. Are we on the downswing?
No, well, we're still rising.
All right, okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Well, I think we're gonna like make a few guest appearances on some other podcasts while
that'll be
we
fun.
are on break.
Yep.
And then we'll be, preparing other topics, and we're gonna have a few guest appearances from a matchmaker coming up in season 2. Obviously, we're gonna talk about cyber stalking. Maybe we can get him to be a friend of the pod. And we'd love to hear from you guys more about what you want to hear for season 2. So even though we're taking break, make sure you send us your questions and stuff to the loveisstupidpodcast@gmail.com.
And we made some good friends over this first season. Of course,
Yeah.
it was Vanessa who came on and we redid her dating profiles.
That was fun.
My friend Christina, which people have kind of asked about my friend Christina who was on here, which if she was in the sickness and health episode, kind of dealt with illnesses and relationships and stuff like that. She's doing well. You can follow her on Instagram. She's doing pretty good, all things considered, and so glad about that. And then of course the Miss 1016 episode.
1016.
It's intense. One
I
of
like
our
that one.
best ones and favorite ones. Of course, our friend of the pod, Greg, who happened to call in during the episve.
The
So
timing was impeccable.
going to play golf with Greg tomorrow. So
Tomorrow morning, that's
Tomorrow
right.
morning about that. But yeah, we've covered some ground here. Oh, and Bar Daddy Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so if you're in the Nashville area, Walden is now open and serving.
Woo!
Bar Daddy
Okay.
Nashville will be there. He'd love to talk about his episode. So just make sure you mention it to him. He'll probably take care of you.
So you're talking about us jumping onto other pods and kind of being guests on some of those. What are our Twitter, Instagram handles so people can get updates?
Yes. So Twitter is Love is Stupid Pod, and Instagram is the Love is Stupid Podcast. So you can still go and keep up with us, even though we won't be doing our regular weekly for a couple of months here. And we are returning on 9/9. So we will be back September 9th. Mark your calendars. And then from there, we'll have season 2, which will be airing every Wednesday as we did this season. But you guys, I had a lot of fun. This really did start as just like, let's have fun. We're friends. We always talk about this. Let's put it on the mic and see how it goes. And I'm really proud of what we did. I think that it's come out really good, and I've had a blast doing it with you guys. So
And I've learned so much about Dustin.
So much. So many odd references
The
to
mystery man.
the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and all those things.
Yes.
But yeah, I think in next year too. We can hear more about going into year 2 of the Jake and Ray marriage. I think will be very interesting.
There you go.
You're through the honeymoon phase at this point.
It's
man.
been really good.
So-
So my grandma actually told me a pretty interesting piece of information that,
Fight naked?
well, she did tell me that. No, but she said that apparently, I think maybe in the Bible, there's somewhere in the Bible where it says that husbands will take a year off of work to be with their spouse.
Oh, yeah.
So we kind of got a little bit of that considering we were,
Quarantine?
stuck in house during quarantine. And so, yeah, I mean, I think it's been a really good year. It wasn't exactly how we pictured it going, but I've enjoyed thoroughly being married to you.
Dustin says we're through the honeymoon phase, but life with Ray is a honeymoon.
Oh, thank you, baby.
I love that these sunglasses are hiding my eye roll.
I was like, I know the eye roll's under there.
Oh yeah, for sure. We can't go an episode without it.
My eye roll moment of the night.
I
Oh,
love it.
bachelor throwback. Nice.
I love it. So, kind of to wrap this up, we have another He Said, She Said, which has been an on-running segment that we've done this first season. You guys seem to have liked it. You've been writing in. If you want us to continue in season 2, let us know. Or if you have ideas for other segments that you want us to do when we come back, you can let us know.
It's time for He Said, She Said.
Woohoo!
You guys mind if I read this one?
Go
Do
ahead.
it.
I'd love for you to.
I'm pretty sure I read this before we got on, and I think there was some little undoing on Dustin's part, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, my drink is melting.
You better drink up,
I know,
dog.
right?
Alright, so let me read this. This is from Gabby. Guys, I've been dating a guy for about a month, and it's going okay. What I mean is, he's fun, and I enjoy doing things with him. With the lockdown and our schedules, we don't have a ton of time to hang out, but when we have, it's been fun. I do, however, get the feeling that he likes me more than I do right now, which is fine. I feel like all
I'm guessing
new...
she means more than I like him right now. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give her that one.
This isn't about her liking herself.
Yeah,
It's not like
I
that.
got it.
Which is fine. I feel like all new relationships go through these initial stages. All of that to say, he likes to plan things for us, which is something most guys don't do, so I feel stupid in complaining, but he's planning little things and events for us throughout the summer. He wants to go camping in 2 weeks, wants me to be his date to a wedding in a few weeks after that, etc., etc. I feel like if I commit to these things, I'm tying myself to a relationship that I don't know will last. But if I tell him that, I feel like I'll hurt his feelings and potentially ruin something that might have potential. How do I navigate this? Thanks, Jason Aldean still sucks. Gabby.
She wrote that?
There is no way she put that in the
I
letter.
feel like Dustin
Gabby.
might have manipulated.
There is some tampering.
Gabby, call me later.
Call me.
I mean, there you go. Jason Aldean does suck. Thank you so much for calling in, Gabby. Or writing in.
Oh, whatever. All right, let's break this down. What's going on?
So it sounds like, based on the tones of this, that he's doing what I like to call hopscotching. Hopscotching in that
Is that a
This is
Dustin
new.
term or is
it's
this
a Dustin term.
Okay.
Dustinism.
He's putting these little things out there in the immediate and future. You know?
Right.
So he can be like, oh, hey, we've got this cool, fun event thing that you want to do coming up in 2 weeks. We got this cool, fun event thing coming up in 4 weeks or whatever. And so
Okay.
she wants to go do these things. She wants to be
Right.
involved, but he's now got it planned out
Right.
6-7 weeks. He's giving himself a long runway to make this happen.
So is he testing the waters with her by
He likes
scheduling it out?
Gabby, he likes you
Yeah.
a lot.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, and so that's what's happening right here, and I can sniff through that a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, totally. I mean, I think that, like, I get it, Gabby, but this is a good problem to have. I understand, though, like, how do you navigate it? I don't know. I mean,
Look, I'm just going to say it like it is. She's not into him. She's just not that into him. And if that's the case, break it off.
here's my thought. I'm thinking, it's coming to me. So I think that, look, if you like him enough to want to see where the potential goes, then let it see where the potential goes. And if it comes down to it where you're like, you know what, I really am not that into him, then you can break it off. He can find another date to the wedding. He can, it's okay.
I've got a couple points here. One, in Gabby's favor here, probably everything's gonna be canceled anyway.
That's true. This wedding's not
This
happening.
wedding's not happening.
Getting off the hook, Gabby.
So you're gonna get out of that one with no problem. The other part of it is, if you go on any sort of trip or any sort of like scheduled thing with someone that you don't like, regardless of how much fun you think you're gonna have, it ain't gonna be fun.
Right.
Even if they were going on like a dream vacation, someplace that she definitely want to go, I don't know. Let's say it's a place like, I don't know, Banff.
Thought you were going to say Lower Alabama.
I was like, Banff.
Did you miss going to Banff?
Yeah, I missed going to
Banff.
If you
And
guys
so-
can't see behind us, there's our wedding in Banff.
But like, even if that was like the
Really?
number one, I wasn't invited. Maybe that was one of the number one things that she wanted to do, and he was going to take her. If you're going with someone that you don't want to be with, it's going to be very tough
Yeah.
to do.
Right.
And so,
Yeah,
and
I'm
like,
with you.
and look, there's no wedding. Go be a solo wedding guest. You're not. If you've never done that, or if he's never done that, it'll be fine. Don't worry about that sort of crap. You don't need to feel like you need to be connected or committed to doing this just because he's got something planned out.
I mean, I feel like this is an issue that even couples in long-term relationships deal with a little bit, because I've seen, I think more from girls, but being like, oh, you know, the relationship's kind of over. I'm ready for us to break up, but I've got this trip to India with him coming up, so I'll break up with him after we go to that, because we've got plans. But the problem is that you're always going to have plans. Like, life happens. So go with the flow, and when and if you decide that it's not working anymore, like, you don't have to stick to the plans. You don't have to wait till after they're over.
Right.
I disagree. I'm reading the room, and I don't think she likes him, and just call it off.
Okay. Well, if she doesn't like him, and this kind of another little bit of squirrel point that I thought of when I was reading this email.
You mean tampering with this email?
I may have added the salutation on there. I must have. Whatever. But I was thinking about going like, this is awful. We do need one of these stories though. Have y'all ever gone to a wedding solo, like by yourself, just be a solo person?
Nope.
Okay. You ever
I don't
done?
think I have.
Oh well, you are missing out, kids, because I'm gonna tell you what, there's nothing wrong with being a solo person.
Are you talking about like the bridesmaids that are around and
That's
easy pickings?
no, Ray, that's a short-sighted approach.
Wedding crashing?
Here's what happens, because I guarantee you, what made me think of this was like, okay, let's say Gabby gets drugged at this wedding and she doesn't want to be there. Okay?
Drugged to, not drugged at.
Not drugged at, drugs to. Prepositions matter.
Yes, they do.
And so, let's say she was drugged to the wedding and she's with this guy that she doesn't like, and say, I'm there by myself. I don't have to hit on Gabby. I don't have to like talk to Gabby or anything like that. All I would have to do was put the bug in someone's ear, if I liked Gabby, asking who she was. And when she inevitably complains to her girlfriend about how much she hates her current boyfriend who drug her to this wedding or whatever's going on, all she's just like, oh, my friend was asking. He was asking about you. There you go. I mean, you're like, you could pay off down the road.
Oh,
Just
he's
be
got
there.
game, kids.
Just be
He's
there
got
and be
game.
present. See,
Planting the seed.
just gonna plant that seed.
Just a little water.
Long
Let it
game.
blossom.
Just
Patience.
And as patience, like you
played.
said, 2 months off. Who knows what season 2 of Love is Stupid podcast might help.
Dustin might be married.
Might be, and hell, I may be divorced.
I feel like in that time frame it would be an annulment. That doesn't count. You just scratch that.
Yeah.
Those never
Mulligan.
Yeah, I think is that what it is. Like,
I don't know.
courts decided that people needed a mulligan.
Yeah.
Everyone gets a breakfast ball.
Yeah.
Even Britney Spears gets a mulligan.
We got golf on the mind apparently.
Yep.
Oh, I'm loving the
Sports are
weather.
coming back,
I
of
know, I'm
course
so
we do.
excited. Tomorrow is it Belmont Stakes tomorrow?
It's this weekend. Yep, Belmont Stakes is this weekend.
So are we gonna get all dolled up and
I mean, I've already got my hat on. I plan on wearing this for
Yeah.
the next 72 hours.
Oh, I'm totally getting dolled up. We're all going out on Saturday, and I think we need to like make bets on it. Like we were going to steeplechase, and like
let's do it.
you know, since we don't get to do the whole thing in person this year, let's
I'm excited about it.
make two.
I love gambling.
Don't we all?
That's all I heard. Zoned out.
Oh no!
But
All right.
the EPL came back. I love
Oh,
soccer. EPL's now back. Bundesliga's been back for
But
a while.
EPL, let's for our American
English
listeners.
Premier League.
Bundes-
Sorry. Can baseball figure it out?
Nope.
What's going on?
We've had 160 years of not being able to figure it out, so don't
No
expect
joke.
it to start now. So
Yeah.
I mean, baseball players are a little slow.
easy now. That ain't true.
Jack Nicholson's
Let's
here.
get the hell out of here.
Hey, special guest.
You guys, thank you so much for your support and your love all through our first season. We really appreciate it. We've had
Yes.
so much fun, and the fact that you guys are listening to all the things that we have to say means a lot to us. We will be back on 9/9, that's September 9th. Mark your calendars, season 2, and we'll be having episodes every Wednesday from that point out.
And in the meantime, how do they find us?
In the meantime, you can find us on Twitter, Love is Stupid Pod, on Instagram, the Love is Stupid Podcast, or you can email us at the Love is Stupid Podcast at gmail.com. And yeah, please stay in touch. Like I said, we'll be making guest appearances on some other podcasts while we are taking our summer break from ours. And we're really excited to come back, and we'll see you on September 9th.
Guys,
See you soon, guys.
congratulations on season 1.
22 episodes.
Woo!
How about that?
I like it.
Bye.
Thank you.
Love you guys. Stay happy and in love.